Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, test.
Good evening, members of the board, cabinet, Superintendent Soto, and community members. We're going to begin our recognitions for this evening. Please join us in congratulating two Harlandale ISD students for being awarded the prestigious Legacy Scholarship from the San Antonio Area Foundation. STEM Early College High School's Rebecca de la Rosa and Madeline Joy Ruiz of McCullum High School were awarded this honor for their academic excellence and dedication to serving their community. Congratulations. Can you open it? Congratulations. Beller Elementary's Charlie Anthony and Ricardo de la Cruz were recognized at the inaugural Male Teachers of Color Collaborative Honor Celebration for their dedication to students, leadership, and the positive impact they've made as male educators of color at our district. Their commitment to equity in education reflects the values of the collaborative, and we're proud to celebrate their contributions at Harlandale ISD.
In the middle?
If you can scoot a little bit. Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect.
Already one. Can you open your phone? Certificate. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Congratulations. And that does it for our recognitions this evening. Thank you so much.
Good evening. Welcome everybody here in person and those who join us remotely. Today is Monday, July 21st, 2025, and we're here for a regular meeting of the Board of Trustees of Harlandale ISD. We're going to start today with the thought of the day and the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Gimbel, since this is your campus.
Thank you. Thank you. I pledge allegiance. Oh, can we please? Sorry. Sorry. However you want me to do, go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honra la bandera de Texas. Te juro lealtad a ti, Texas. Un estado bajo Dios, único e indivisible. Thank you. Sorry. We're just taking everything through a spin today. You're not sitting on this side, you're sitting on the, we're just going backwards. So my thought of the day is actually a farewell speech. Tonight is bittersweet as we say farewell, not goodbye, to an incredible board member and a dear friend. Today marks the end of his time serving on our school board, but it's also the beginning of a new and exciting chapter, stepping into the role of principal. For years, he has been a true champion for our teachers and our students. His voice has never wavered when it came to doing what was right, even when it was hard. His heart, his faith, and his fierce commitment to education have shaped our district for better, and we are all stronger because of his leadership. As he transitions into school leadership, I hope he carries with him the wisdom, experience, and perspective he's gained here among these wonderful board members. I know those lessons will guide him well because they come from a place of service, integrity, and deep compassion. I wanted to give you a small bag of reminders as you begin your new journey. A small frame to remind you that you are always coaching others, whether it's students, staff, or fellow leaders. Says a coach can change a game, a great coach can change a life. A journal with a message from Psalms 20. May he give you the desires of your heart and make your plan succeed. So keep dreaming big. A welcome sign to encourage you to always lead with an open door, open hands, and an open heart for your community, your staff, and your students. And finally, a fishbowl with a fish, because let's be honest, there will be days when it feels like you're drowning, but always remember you have friends, mentors, and colleagues who will throw you the life jacket when you need it. Never hesitate to reach out. We're still here cheering you on. Thank you for the years of service, the late nights, the hard decisions, and the unwavering belief in kids. You're going to be an incredible principal because you've always been an incredible servant leader. We're proud of you, we're praying for you, and we'll always be in your corner. Congratulations, Mr. Moreno, and welcome to your next calling. Thank you. I had forgotten. Keys, so you don't get lost. Thank you, everyone. Oh, sorry.
Real quick, Ms. Gimbel. Ms. Gimbel.
Oh,
let's-
sorry.
1, 2, 3, one more. Got it. Thank you. You're good.
Thank you, Ms. Gimbal, for those beautiful words and such detail on Mr. Moreno's farewell. Or not farewell, until we see you again. I am calling the meeting to order. It is 6:22 PM. And we will do roll call of the colleagues present. If we can please open it up. Okay, thank you very much. Everyone is accounted for and present. We do have a quorum. Agenda item 1C, Mr. Soto, would you let us know who is here, staff members and cabinet, please?
Yes, Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, Harndale Community. This evening, we have our Assistant Superintendent for Business and Finance, Mr. Flores.
Here.
We have our Executive Director of Operations, Dr. Hinojosa.
Here.
We have our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction, Ms. Casey.
Here.
We have our Executive Director of Human Resources, Dr. Salinas.
Here.
And we have our Public Information Director, Ms. Garza.
Here.
Thank you, Mr. Soto. Dr. Castleberry intended to join us remotely, but I believe she's having some issues logging in. She will take a look at the meeting post on the post recording of it. So we also have agenda item 3, that is public comment. We do have a couple of community members that have signed up for public comment. We have only one. Mr. Cardenas, Richard Cardenas. Welcome, Mr. Cardenas. Give me 1 second, Mr. Cardenas, just because I like to be consistent in all the meetings. So you have 3-minute maximum to speak. The topics addressed shall be limited to those specifically included on the board's agenda and or district related. You do have a timer on the screen for the 3 minutes that'll guide you along. We will be ready whenever you are, sir.
All right. Good evening, school board, staff, and superintendent. Thank you for taking time. I'm speaking today on behalf of agenda item 6A, 6B, and 6F. My name's Richard Cardenas. I'm the widow of Sylvia Cardenas. I'm here to ask superintendent, well, first of all, I want to thank Mr. Mancha for last board meeting of making a personal point of privilege to a moment of silence. Superintendent, thank you for your kind words. Congratulations on your Superintendent of the Year. Board members, thank you for what you do. So I'm here to ask Superintendent and School Board in support of naming the Harlandale Gym to Sylvia Cardenas Gymnasium. Thank you again for taking the time to recognize contributions of Sylvia Cardenas at the June 16th board meeting. Education is being scrutinized and cuts are being felt from both federal and state budgets. And as a former, I'm submitting a formal letter to the superintendent last month or last week of renaming the Harlandale Gym in honor of Sylvia. And it would be no cost to the Harlandale community. And we have secured a corporate sponsor that would make an in-kind donation to the school district and provide all the necessary costs and construction of renaming the gym. I'm reading this. This is not what they told me. Hey, make sure you read this. Okay, but I'm going to give you more about it. First of all, we are starting a petition drive. Okay, we started last month, June, and we submitted the letter last week. We know that there's policy about being able to name district school facilities. And so we are following the policy. And so we wouldn't want it done any other way. So we're going to get, well, we have 700 signatures, but it has to be 50% of the attendance in Harlandale community, Harlandale's attendance zone. So we're given a number of 1,400, but we hear it's 1,600. So we're like 100 signatures short. Just to let school board policy know, right when first of all, people want, hey, let's make it, put it on Facebook, social media, get everyone involved in this and that. People were getting ugly. I said, hey, calm down. We're not going to do it that way. We're going to do things respectfully and mindful of the school district. And so what we did the petition where you can sign up online, and there was people upset. And I'm like, why? Because they were born and raised in the Harlandale community, and their parents passed away, and they end up leaving the school district for other things. And they were like, hey, I've born and raised and grew up in the Harlandale district, and I can't sign this petition. I can't sign it. It says, no, it has to be. Another person came and told me, hey, well, I just moved over to the McCollum area. I'm still in the district. It says, no, you can't sign it because you have to live in the Harlandale attendance zone. So just to let you know, there's going to be people that are going to show up to this meeting next week. And I told them, hey, just be mindful of what Sylvia wants. We want to make sure that we do things right, and because Sylvia wouldn't want it done any other way. So that's going to be a part of our thing of our agenda. So let me finish reading this now, just to let you know. Okay, as far as the construction goes, we do have a corporate sponsor, or that would make it in kind, because that's with money. $2 million lost a couple weeks ago, blah, blah, blah. People taking money, you are not getting money. It's going to be a big deal. So we have a in-kind donation to the district, to the Harlandale district. Wouldn't cost the district anything. They would meet with school officials, school board members, superintendent, operations, anyone that wants to they would do a site visit. They'd basically look at the site, have engineers, have architects. I've asked them to do a rendition of the facility to actually draw to see what it's going to look like as far as naming the gym outside and inside. And again, they would be able to sign contracts, anything that the school district would be able to request from them. They would be able to provide any no liability or cost to the Harlandale district. So next school board meeting, we'd like for it to be placed on the agenda for consideration and open it up to the public. Just like I said, we're going to have family, myself, my sons, brother, sister, mom, her mom, family, friends, cousins, and to speak at the next meeting. So that's what Sylvia was all about, academics. It was just important about playing. And so thank you again. You know, the board 6F is about no pass, no play. We were at the alumni basketball, and his name is John Dominguez. They call him Tweety. Reflected a story about how he wanted to be in the gym shooting baskets. So he says, no, you need to be in the classroom. And so there'll be other people talking about her accomplishments. I know several of y'all were able to work with her. But also too, there's a box that I provide. I think Ms. Martinez, the athletic director, has it. I'd like every one of y'all look in that box. And it tells a story. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cardenas. Moving on to agenda item 4, announcements. 4A, the board will be presented with general district announcements. Ms. Garza?
Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Soto, community members, and cabinet. We're going to go ahead and begin our cabinet or our announcements for this evening. Our nominations for our 2025 Harlandale ISD Hall of Fame are officially open. This is our community's chance to honor the exceptional individuals who have made an impact at our district. Nominations will be accepted until August 21st, 2025 at 1 p.m. And we invite our community to visit harlandale.net/Hall of Fame to learn more.
Ms. Garza?
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can you go back on that
Yes.
slide, please? So it says nominations will be accepted until August 21st, but then right here.
No, it's August 13th. I'm so sorry about that.
Okay.
It is August. It's what's correct on this graphic. August
Okay,
13th,
so it's
2025. I'm
August
so sorry about
13th.
that.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
August
Well-
13th, 2025.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
We have our next level urgent care grand opening. We want to invite our school board to the ribbon cutting ceremony for the next level urgent care at Brook City Base. And again, this is my bad. This is a typo. It's supposed to be July 30th, but is at 10:30 a.m. Join us as we celebrate the opening of this new community resource, plus enjoy a special performance by our talented student mariachis. We hope to see you there. And right after this, we will have our special luncheon with our board, and that'll be at 11:30.
Madam Chair. Dr. Salinas, why is this such an important event for us to attend or for us to put in our calendar, the next level urgent care grand opening?
So we have been working with them for over 2 years to open up something close to Harlandale, and they're finally found the right place. And this is an opportunity for not just for a grand opening for our staff, but it's a location that's going to be available for all of our staff. If they have next level urgent care, either as an ancillary product for $30 a month, or with our medical, it's free. Anything you do there is free for our staff.
And if they have a family, it's blue collar worker, it's $30 or $60 for them and a family, correct?
That is correct.
And then it's zero out of pocket when they
That-
go to a next level urgent care.
That is correct. And
Whereas many school districts around our area, their urgent care charges them at least $100 if they go.
correct.
Thank you.
I do want to reiterate that is July 30th. I'm going to go ahead and skip that. I just went over that. Next, we're very excited to share that Harlandale ISD was one of only 3 school districts in the South Texas region selected to be featured in the summer edition of the TASB magazine, The Texas Lone Star. The article highlights how we transformed the former Carroll Bell Elementary into state-of-the-art career and technical education center, offering hands-on training in 8 high-demand fields. It also shares the story of one of our students who is set to graduate with a barbering certification. This feature is truly a powerful example of how our strategic decisions are creating real-world opportunities for our students. And we will be sharing this link with our community and our board so that you all can read this article. Harlandale ISD has officially launched Parent Square, our new all-in-one communication platform designed to streamline how we connect with families. Parent Square will serve as our primary tool for school-to-home communication moving forward. Over the summer, parents and staff have been receiving weekly updates introducing key features and expectations for the new platform. We're continuing to support the rollout with an informational booth at our upcoming Back to School Bash, which is taking place on Saturday, August 9th at our stadium, where our families can ask questions and get hands-on guidance from our communications team. So we will have our team there helping any parents or staff downloading the app, showing them how it works and what they can expect from this platform. So we invite our staff to be on the lookout for an email with details about our upcoming staff convocation. This year's theme is Team Harlandale, Let the Games Begin and the Legacy Continue. And we're bringing the energy to Harlandale Memorial Stadium on Friday, August 8th at 7:30 a.m. This district-wide kickoff is a chance to come together and have some fun to start the year as one united team. And so we look forward to welcoming everyone back. And the following day, we have our Back to School Bash. And this is going to be Saturday, August 9th at Memorial Stadium. And that is taking place from 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. And so again, our students and our staff can expect to get free resources, immunizations, haircuts, school supplies, and more. And we do want to reiterate that this is until supplies last. So first come, first serve. I'm honored to once again share that our Harlandale ISD Superintendent, Mr. Gerardo Soto, has been named the 2025 Region 20 Superintendent of the Year. This recognition honors his decades of service and the transformational leadership he's brought to our district. With this regional distinction, Mr. Soto now moves on to represent Region 20 in the statewide Superintendent of the Year selection process, with the winner to be announced this fall. Please join us in congratulating Mr. Soto on this well-earned recognition and visit our homepage for an in-depth story highlighting more of his accomplishments. Okay, and we have our important dates. So we have Hall of Fame nominations open from now until August 15th. We have Next Level Urgent Care grand opening, and that is again July 30th. We have our Harlandale staff convocation on August 8th at the stadium at 7:30 a.m. We have our Back to School Bash on August 9th, the following day at the stadium from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And we have, if you can believe it, our first day of school already on August 13th. That does it for our announcements. Does anyone have any questions?
I guess not. Thank you so much, Ms. Garza.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item 4B, Mr. Soto.
Yes, Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, HISD community. At this time, we're going to give the floor to Mr. Moreno. Mr. Moreno, as Ms. Gimbel very well said, is moving on to the next chapter of his life. And so, Mr. Moreno, if you can take the floor.
Well, thank you, sir. I humbly accept your ability to or willingness to lend me the floor, and Madam Chair. And so, as noted, I did prepare something. I just kind of as we go, right? So, what can I say when it comes to being in this position in 10 years? As we all know, evokes a lot of emotions, and it evokes how time is so precious, right? And they just come and go, and they don't stop without an end. I'm internally grateful to my Harlandale community, and I'll try not to get tripped up. I'm usually pretty good. So, in affording me the privilege and the opportunity to serve the community that we all love. Along the way, I have learned a great deal from all those involved in our Harlandale community. Countless folks have let me into their homes and entrusted me with their most precious cargo, which is the future of their kids. And I cannot express my gratitude enough, as well as all the staff, personnel, and others along the way who have given me their time and support and just working tirelessly for our kids. And those are things that I know a lot of us do in recognizing, even if it's for a minute or two, to visit with them. So I appreciate that ability as a trustee. And also through different chance in life, right? Different ways that life works mysteriously. We've had different people. I know one in person in particular, he's no longer with us. Uh, Mr. Luis Vera was always a great mentor for me as well. And I know if I get the chance to communicate to his beloved wife, Rose, that he was a person that always spoke straight to the point and told you what he thought. And that always helped me to keep me a little balanced, even though sometimes I'd have to be like, hey, Luis, I can't talk like that. So, and I can't speak like that at the board either. So, but those are things that I hope he knew, because I always try to communicate that to him too. In addition to that, I can recount back in 2015, being in a situation where I've always wanted to serve, going from apartment conversations late at night with my buddies and friends from also from the South Side and San Marcos, to saying, hey, we need to do something that is gonna lend itself to do things better and show progress, because as we all know, where we grew up and when we grew up, time was different, and there was a stigma, whether it's here or anywhere else on the South Side. And so those were the conversations I had, and time brought me to an opportunity where I got to interact with Ms. Julie Gimbel. And with that, I didn't know how or what I wanted to proceed in running a race or pursuing a position to serve our community. But she gave me those skill sets. We had never met. We discussed over a conversation, and she said, "All right, well, I mean, pretty much, I'm pretty much hatching my wagon to you." So she gave me her unwavering support in that regard. She committed not only her time, or she lent her skills, her times and energy in my first campaign, and really taught me what it means to be a person that loves this community. I thought I loved it, but she loves it very dearly just as well. And so she took a chance on me, and that's what helped me earn that privilege, interacting also with people such as Mr. Mancha, who also lent me his support at that time as well. So those are things that I don't forget, and those are the friendships that I thankfully earned. And in particular with Miss Gimbel, I earned not only her friendship but her love, and it's reciprocated tenfold with her as well. So I'm very grateful for her and all her wisdom and all her support, and leading me to a position that I'm in now, where I can hopefully expand my scope of influence on another neighboring district. And through it all too, I've learned that this role, and I'm not going to be too long-winded, so I apologize, guys. I know I told Mr. Soto that. So I've learned that this role does not end at the dais. My colleagues have shown me that you can be a business owner and a philanthropist. You can organize events that support student needs, as well as providing the access to team sports that allow our community to build character skills. In addition to that, you can leverage your experiences in the legal realm to expand community partnerships. And you can advocate for public education and use that knowledge to give back to our community. And also you can build opportunities for our families to become homeowners and really immersing themselves in the American dream. So ultimately, leaning on the expertise of this team has allowed us to continue to move forward. And I don't foresee any issue of that happening whatsoever. So I definitely have a tremendous amount of love, respect, and confidence in the team as a whole now. And then that kind of leads me to Mr. Soto, and that one too. Where can I begin, sir? Your leadership has been a model for our whole team to follow. It goes without saying that I certainly look up to you, right? And you can always make that joke, right? Literally and figuratively. But but I'm proud to know that we have the ability to be honest, open, and supportive of one another. And this is before even your role as a superintendent, whether it was a principal at Frank de Heather or director of operations, always being able to be a sounding board for me, and to kind of help coach me up. And that's really how I've always taken it at. I know sometimes things have looked in very small margins where it's like, oh man, they're not too happy with one another, but that's, neither here nor there. It's really always been a way to support. And I appreciate your, your, your ability to communicate that to me. Because ultimately, not only have I benefited, but our community has benefited in this team. Because I'm always willing and open to letting you coach me up. Even though technically it should be me, right, being the one to tell you how to delegate some things within the team. Um, but that's really something that I've always been open to, because that's been really beneficial and helpful for me to learn and grow as a leader. And 10 years, as Miss Juarez nicely reminded me, she's like, "Oh man, I was looking through some old footage, and there you are, 10 years ago." Which, like I told her, sometimes time isn't too kind on us, but I like to think that it's been okay with me. Gravity still is where it needs to be. But overall, Mr. Soto, I'm just thankful to not only call you a colleague, but a mentor and ultimately a friend. And that's something that I think within the 10 years of this partnership that we've established, it's been very very gratifying to see the successes that we've earned. And sometimes people are like, "Oh, it's not this or that." I mean, I do feel this team has put you in a position to be successful, and I'm glad to see that you're finally getting the recognition that we're all aware of. And it's kudos to you for assembling a great team, and kudos to you for continuing to move us forward, regardless of what other people may say or may disagree. But I'm standing on that, and I'm very thankful for that as well. And lastly, many thanks to my family and friends. I do have my aunt, my aunt Sylvia, my mom Norma, my wife Daniela, and my little girl Davina. And that's one thing too, right? It's crazy to think that we've all grown in different stages of our lives, and here you see me grow from, I guess, somewhat of a young person to now a dad. That's wild, right? And so, and that's where they've always supported my drive to serve our community, especially here at Harlandale. My mom, my aunts, my uncles, my sisters, my brother, my dad's. They've done so much to support any campaign that I ran without any questions. And I'm forever indebted for their constant love and support. And that's something that goes without saying. And I always try to ensure that they understand that. And because I know I can, when it comes to situations like campaigning, I can be very rigid, to say the least, and very focused. I guess I can use that. Focused, very focused on things. So, and in particular, I must recognize, my wife, who has experienced it all, from her encouragement to pursue the privilege of serving back in 2015. And then beyond that, her showing her belief in me by purchasing actually my signs, my campaign signs in 2015. And she's not walked behind me this entire time, but rather she's always been beside me. And in many cases, that's given me the reassurance that the effort, the time, the focus has always been worth it for our Southside community. And I'm very grateful for her willingness to be a part of the journey and her unwavering commitment and support. So like many long days and nights have come and gone, right? And we all experience it with our families. And you guys firsthand know the struggle to balance everything amongst your professional and personal life, and all the, commitments that we have. But she's made a joke recently that's kind of hitting home, and I hope it doesn't stay true. But a joke that my little girl Davina will be saying when she's able to explain what her dad does at school, that she's gonna model with the cell phone in her hand, and that he just talks on his phone because he's always busy. So I hope that isn't the case. But my mom made that joke too, and they kind of giggled about it. But I think now we should have a little more time together, right? I hope. I mean, this summer hasn't proven to be the case, But I've assured her that this transition should just be this summer, and the next summer should be a lot easier. But thank you to Daniela, and I love you very much. And luckily, we continue to get to serve our beloved South Side of San Antonio, and we're proud to be able to be a part of that. And it's not going to stop here. But I've also learned from my team here is that we can serve in different capacities when it comes to supporting, whether it's Southside ISD where I used to work, whether it's where I'm going to go now at South San, or here at Harlandale, because ultimately home is where the heart is, right? And that's where we'll be at. So thank you, everyone. It's been a blessing, and it's been very very eye-opening, and I'm just thankful for the privilege to serve for my community, and also to serve with my friends here on this board. So thank you, guys. So thank you, everyone.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
may I have the team come up to the front, and we're going to present Mr. Moreno a small token of our appreciation for all the years of service.
Madam Chair, do we get to comment too? Do we get to comment too, or,
Yes, of course. Go ahead, Mr.
um, at this moment, Mr. Moreno, I think I don't know who's been here longer, but I did work on Mr. Moreno's campaign back 10 years ago. With Julie's help, of course. Julie motivates us to do many things. We can't wait for the next graduation here at McCollum High School, 2026, which is a good year for me. Anyway, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Moreno on his time and his service, and it's a bittersweet day for me, but we keep saying that the time doesn't stop, life doesn't stop. We keep going. We just try to make our life, not our own lives better, but our society better, our community better. And like he says, home is where the heart is. This is really my second home, but it's really back to my roots, because I have roots here in Harlandale. I have cousins that graduated from Harlandale. So thank you, Mr. Moreno. A good time served. And we don't say never, never again. We'll see you never again, but we'll see you later, because you might come back, because you're very young, and people do tend to want to come back here in Harlandale, because it's like we're family. So thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir.
Madam Chair, can I say a couple words? Mr. Moreno, literally from the classroom to the boardroom, you and I have grown up together. We graduated together through Flanders, Leal, and Harlandale High. I want to thank you for always being an inspiration in every aspect. You were always a great student. You were always a great friend. And if it wasn't for you sitting on the board, I don't think I would have had the inspiration to run. So I want to thank you for being you. I know you're going to be a great leader at your new campus. And I mean, you're a great dad, a great husband. So keep being you. Congratulations again.
Anybody else?
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
well, he is my boss still, so I got, not that I'm inclined to say some good words, but I always speak from the heart. And Daniela, thank you for letting us borrow him for 10 years for the betterment of our community. That says a lot about the sacrifice that you've given. As we know, they don't get paid to come up here and be up here in endless nights, and you with the baby. And my goodness, I could only hear him when he gets home and you get on him and say, hey, it's your turn, right? Hand him over to him. But, you know, Mr. Moreno, you've come a long, long way. I know me and you, it's like me and you were married. We don't always see eye to eye, but we always had the end goal in mind is to make this district a better place than when we leave, right? And you're leaving as a trustee, but you're still a community member. And just having those talks, it reminded me about the days that you were at Kaizen and you're like, sir, what in the world is going on here? And you going through that situation at Kaizen to becoming a VP, and now you're going to be running your own campus. You know, I wish you the very, very best. And as I told you, I don't know all the answers, but I have a great team and I have all the resources here at Harlandale that can help you and guide you to be the principal that you want to be. So don't ever hesitate to reach out to. God bless you, sir.
Anybody else? I will add just a little sentiment, Mr. Moreno. I do hope it's true that Davina says, my dad's on the phone and he's always busy, because you will be busy making a better world for her. You will be busy making better leaders of teachers. You will be busy creating an educational excellence that only you can bring to your new position. So I do hope that she can say, my dad's always on the phone because he's always busy. Because when someone says why, she'll know exactly what you're doing for her and the rest of our students, not just in this district or any district that you will lead. We have faith in you. We have trust in you. And I will tell you what we usually always tell our graduates, go conquer the world. This is just merely the beginning for you, Mr. Moreno. You have and will continue to make us proud. So God bless you, sir.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Mancha.
this is gonna bring me back to what Ms. Salazar said. You're the old guy here. Hi, Ms. Salazar. I am the old guy here. That's weird, right? Because when I've been here 12 years, sir, I remember when Julie called me that night. Said, Mr. Mancha, we need to talk. I said, what happened, Julie? She goes, I got a guy that's gonna run against Alanis. I was like, what does he look like? How old is he? Is this old? I was like, oh, we got a little kid. Are you sure, Julie? You need to meet him, Mr. Mancha. I said, all right. Then I get a phone call from Luis. Juan, what are you doing? I said, I'm gonna go meet this guy that's gonna run against. Okay. Make sure you listen to him. I said, I'll listen to him. See what he's got to say. Sir, I was very impressed from the first day I met you. That's why I supported you. As you well know, I'm very picky at who I support. I don't support very many people, and a lot of people get mad because of that. I don't take pictures with nobody that's running for any office unless I like them, unless I believe in them. I have done that for you, sir, from the very beginning, because I believed in you, because I saw your heart as big as mine for this district and for kids in this community, and not only in this community, but in South San, because you were in South San then. And as we know, our kids need a lot of help. All they need is the right guidance. And we shared that, and you understood that. And that's what made me support you. So I know you're gonna do great. I hope you're not, I'm the opposite. I hope you're not on that phone. Okay? Because my daughter used to wait up for me. I would get home at 11 o'clock at night after I get out of work. And I say, Mija, what are you doing up? Waiting for you, Daddy. So you need to go to sleep, Mija. She goes, no, Daddy, let's have coffee. She would make me sit in a little bitty chair, about this big. Sit down right there. But I learned something. And I promised myself that I was going to give them the best future of the world. And I think I've accomplished that. And I know you're going to accomplish that. But our destiny never ends, sir. We keep serving, and that's what it's about. So I thank you for keeping serving to the south side of our community. Thank you.
Anybody else, or can we continue?
Can I just
Miss-
say,
Of course, Ms. Salazar.
uh, really quick, just thank you so much for your leadership. You're going to do amazing things, and I wish you the best of luck. And it's been a privilege to have met you. Thank you.
Madam Chair. So, Mr. Moreno, congratulations on the new job. I know that you'll be successful because it's every year you've been striving and striving and striving. So I knew you were gonna hit that goal, but I know that you're going to move forward and there will be other opportunities for you besides outside of the school board. Yes, we will miss you, but it's a good thing for you and your family. And again, congratulations.
Thank you, everybody. Moving on to agenda item 5, information and reports.
Yes, Madam Chair. At this time, we're going to start with Mr. Simons and the CNI team.
Good evening. Okay. So I'm here to present the 5th grade and 8th grade science scores from STAR, although it appears to have frozen.
If it's okay with, with my colleagues, and Mr. Soto and staff, can we take a 5 to 10 minute break? Is that okay? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
It is right now 7:07, and let's take a 10-minute break. Well, it's a little bit before the 10 minutes, but I think we're okay to go. Okay, it's 7:15 and we're back in open session for the continuation of the meeting.
All right. Good evening once more. So my colleagues and I are here to present the 2025 STAR results for 3rd through 8th grade. And specifically, I will be presenting the 5th and 8th grade science scores. So our goal was to increase the meets percentage passing by 3.5 percentage points relative to the state's overall performance on both tests. And this year, we actually had a small decrease in 5th grade of 1.2 percentage points from last year to this year. And then for 8th grade, we had a small increase of 0.8 percentage points from last year to this year, going from 30.5 to 31.3. This, however, put us behind the state, where instead of just the 0.5 or 0.8, we actually dropped 5 percentage points relative to the state for 5th grade science. As you can see in the graph, where they actually had a small increase, which set us further apart. In 8th grade, although we had a small increase, the state increased more, and thus relative to them, we had a 3 percentage point drop, as shown as this graph. Looking at the individual campuses, while the district dropped from one year to the next by 1.2 percentage points, the other campuses were a bit of a mixed bag as far as how their meets scores changed. Although you cannot see it at the bottom right, had a drop of 3.2 percentage points. I know that's not quite visible on the screen. Within our sub-pops for 5th grade science, we did have drops that mirrored that. So although I guess they didn't technically drop as much as the rest, so perhaps a small bright side there. And in 8th grade for our individual campuses, where we had 0.8 at the district level increase from one year to the next, HMS had 1.6 percentage increase, KMS stayed relatively same. LMS had a rather large increase from 5.9 percentage points in their meets category, and Terrell had a drop of 8.1 percentage points. At the middle school level, 8th grade science, our special ed population actually didn't have so much of a drop at the district level of only 0.9 percentage points, so small plus there. And then our emergent bilingual group also had a drop that mirrored the rest of the population. As far as addressing these issues, we will continue with our instructional coaching, targeting teachers at individual campus based on their common unit assessment data in order to identify some of these problems earlier on and try to intervene. And then we will continue to focus on productive struggle and providing otherwise rigorous instruction for students using phenomena and our new science standards. And now I'll turn it over to Ms. Pantoja for social studies.
Good evening, Rubina Pantoja, and I'm the K-12 Social Studies Coordinator. So our goal for 8th grade, I do not have a 5th grade or a elementary social studies assessment. So the goal for 8th grade was to increase by 2.5% percentage points relative to the state. So if you look at the graph and the table, you'll see that we actually decreased in the meets category by 3.7 percentage points. And then relative to the state, we where the state was kind of steady, we actually decreased by 2.7 percentage points. Looking at the breakdown by individual campuses, again, as a district, we decreased by 3.7 percentage points. And you'll notice that at Harlandale Middle School, we had a gain of 3%, and at Leal Middle School, in essence, a gain of 3%. So we have KMS with a decrease in nearly 6%, and then Terra Wells with a decrease in nearly 16 percentage points. If we're looking at our sub-pops, my apologies for the 0.8%. Emergent bilingual is again not that significant of a decrease in either emergent bilingual or 2.2 percentage points, but still needing to work on those particular subgroups. So what are we doing to, in terms of the plans for next year? I think it's really important for us to identify specific areas or opportunities for growth. And so really trying to design professional development that will help teachers identify instructional strategies that are going to help increase student achievement. Also working with teachers to identify students who are not showing success very early on with our CBAs or curriculum-based assessments that we have multiple times throughout the year before the district benchmark. So the idea is that we would look at how the students are performing and then tailor intervention that's very specific to those students who are not showing success. And then again, also increasing, encouraging teachers or supporting teachers in using high yield instructional strategies so that they can increase student achievement on STAR. Next up, we have Ms. Nora Lugo presenting math results for grades 3 through 5.
Good afternoon. I'm Nora Lugo. I'm the elementary math coordinator. And so reviewing our goal that we have for this year of 2025, 3 through 5, our goal was to increase by 4.5% points relative to the state overall performance. And so we did show an increase in our math percentage for 3 through 5. 0.8 of a point, but it was still a good increase. And if you notice with our meets in our second set, we show that 8%, but I also do want to highlight our masters. And so one of the things that we have been addressing to our teachers and our staff is that it's not just the approaches. We want to make sure that we are addressing our meets and masters. And so with our campuses, working with our principals and our teachers, we really focused on students who we can move to those categories of meets and masters. And so we had that 0.8 of a point increase in masters, but we also had 3% increase, in meets, and then a 3% increase in masters this year. So we were, compared to the state grew 1% and we also grew 1%. So we maintained that relevance, that relationship between the state and Harlandale. So we are, even though we didn't pass them, we still maintained our growth. The next slide has our elementary campuses, all 9 of them. 6 out of our 9, 1/3 of our campuses did show an increase. We had campuses such as Adams and Gilbert in terms of meets were at that 4%. And I also want to highlight Schultz Elementary in terms of masters was at 16%. So as I mentioned, that is an area where we're wanting our students to, the goal of getting them to that meets and masters. So we have that increase in 6 out of our 9 campuses. We did show increase in 1/3 of our campuses. And so thinking of this next year, our plan as to how we're going to help support those campuses. Our subgroups for our emergent bilinguals, for masters, we were able to show a 3% increase. And then for our special ed population for masters, we showed a 1.7% increase. So even though we didn't meet the goal, we are still showing some growth in some of our areas. And it's great to see that in our special POPs. So the support we're going to offer for this year, we have the K through Algebra 1 Strong Foundations Planning Grant. This year, we are partnering with Region 20 to provide support in creating a district math framework and professional development on the math research-based instructional strategies, which are the RBs. And all of our teachers will be trained on August 7th at our back-to-school PD in connection to those RBs. We also are able to add a new math coach this position. So now we're up to 4 elementary math coaches, which is a great addition to help support our teachers. For professional development, one of the goals that my elementary department, what we're going to talk about, is really looking at concepts from the data that our students scored low on and providing our teachers things like fractions is one of those areas and giving them that support in that specific concept. And then continuing to support teachers in their planning, helping them develop that content understanding, providing walkthroughs and feedback, and going over that data with each of the campuses so that we can show additional growth, hopefully this next year. Thank you. Next, we have Rita Garza, Elementary, reading.
Good evening. So I am Rita Garza, the Elementary Reading Language Arts Coordinator. I will remind you of our goal. By May 2025, 3 to 5 grades will meet grade level will increase by 1.4% relative to the state's overall performance. So here in this chart, if you have seen my colleagues, on the STAR 2025, Harlandale ISD meets increased by 5.2% or 5.2% points. So you can see our growth starting from STAR 2022 all the way to STAR 2025. And so we have definitely made some gains along the way. Definitely proud of the hard work that we've done along the way. So celebrating our 5.2 growth that we have. When it comes to the where we are relative to the state, we did increase by 1.9 points relative to the state. So again, you can see here on 2020, we had COVID, which we all know brought some challenges, and we saw a dip within the state. As well as our district, we also had the STAR redesign in 2022, where we had writing become a big component on all grade levels from 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So that was a shift for all students and teachers. So you can see that we've made some dips along the way, but keeping relative to the state and also making some growths. This chart is going to show all of our 9 elementary campuses, as well as at the top, you'll see our district overall performance scores. So I will let you kind of take a peek. Lots of growth among all 9 campuses. So you can see our teachers have been hard at work, making sure that our students are making sure that we're meeting those meets and masters versus just focusing our energy and attention on the approaches. For our subgroups, you'll see that our emergent bilinguals also had an increase of 5.4% and our special ed a 0.1%. So when it comes to the support we will be rolling out next school year, I'm excited to say we will be implementing the Bluebonnet Learning in 2025. So we are off to a great start. We have had many trainings already for teachers. We've had over 100 teachers join us in June and another over 100 teachers join us in July for Bluebonnet training. So a prerequisite is getting to know the curriculum before we even dive in. And then July, we took some time to do unit and lesson internalizations where we're really diving into the actual curriculum. And so teachers left with at least 1 to 3 days of being ready. When kids come back, they're ready to begin their lessons. We also have ongoing additional sessions. Back to school, we'll have more lesson internalizations. We're going to have, so teachers know exactly, they're going to have an observation tool that everyone will be using going into their classrooms. So they're going to know firsthand what those things that we'll be looking for are. And then again, opportunities to continue to internalize to be ready for our kids when they come on August 13th. We are partnered up with Region 20, so we're getting lots of amazing support from them. They have already trained our principals, which happened last week. Next week, they will be meeting with them. They'll be training our academic deans and our instructional coaches. We have a dedicated product advisor assigned to each of our 9 campuses, so they will be helping to run PLCs alongside with our instructional coaches. They're going to be in classrooms doing observations or even model lessons for teachers. And they're going to be helping us with the implementation, so ensuring that fidelity is there. Additional support is we do have 3 new instructional coaching positions that we were granted this for this next school year, which we're super excited. The team is amazing. They're ready to tackle on any obstacle that we've got coming. So we have our RLA instructional coaches. We're going to partner up with Region 20's product advisors. And so together we'll be a team of 2 leading each of those PLCs and supporting teachers on the campuses. And then an additional resource that I've put together with the help of some of my colleagues is a reading language arts Google site. And so this is a site where our elementary teachers can go. It has the slide decks that TA has provided. It has information on our framework for the district that we worked on this past school year. It has professional development opportunities. It explains a little bit more of what Bluebonnet is. It takes teachers directly to the site for Bluebonnet. And so teachers it's kind of a one-stop shop where they can go in and find everything that they need when it comes to our new curriculum. All right, I will pass it on to our secondary math coordinator, and she can introduce herself.
Good evening. I'm Kim Faircloth. I'm on day 4 of being the secondary math coordinator. So this evening we'll look at the 6 through 8 math results. Our goal was to grow by 2 percentage points relative to the state. We grew by 1/10 of a point. So basically maintained our meets percentage by grabbing 3 more kids. But our masters also grew, which we grabbed 12 more for our masters, if I look at everybody overall. So while the state increased a little bit, we maintained. So we didn't go down. We're not increasing our gap from the state. If we look at all the campuses, Harlandale and Terrell Wells met their goal or exceeded that goal of 2% growth. I'm about to say La Soya. You can tell where I came from, a different district. Leal maintained while Kingsborough dropped, and which prevented our hitting that goal. Our emergent bilingual students, however, did almost meet that goal of 1.6% growth. Our SPED students took a similar drop. And then, like Ms. Lugo mentioned, my support for this year will be that we're starting the Strong Foundation Planning Grant, coordinating with Region 20, and all of the secondary teachers will be going through the RBI training, our RB's training on August 7th. We are looking at progress tracking through the assessment data, and I will be working on instruction towards how to meet the level of the STAR 2.0 items. And I will be doing a lot of walkthroughs, attending PLCs, and teaching the teachers to dig more into their data. We are providing the pacing guides, which is what I'm working on now, getting those ready to hand out on the 6th, and making sure all the success criteria are clear. And I don't normally stutter. And making sure everybody has the resources that they need. Any questions?
Good evening. My name is Justin Pozos. I am the secondary language arts coordinator, and I'll be sharing with you the 6th through 8th grade middle school data. Our goal that we set out to achieve by May 2025 for those middle school grades at meets level, that we would increase by 5 percentage points relative to the state's overall performance. And you could see on the 2025 STAR, those middle school grades increased by 3.8 percentage points. As you can see, we went up from 34.1% to 37.8. We also increased across approaches, and we also increased across masters. So a real testament to the hard work that those middle school teachers put in with those students. When you look at it relative to the state, you can see that the state increased by 1 percentage point, and we increased by 5 percentage points. So we did outpace the state rather significantly. When you look at the breakdown across the district, you can see HMS and KMS both had about 3 to 4 percentage points in growth. LMS 9.4 growth in meets, a true testament to the hard work and experience of those teachers there, 2 of which have retired, Esther Science and Miss Becky Dominguez. And so they will be missed, and their expertise is going to be missed, and it's going to be hard to replace that expertise at that campus level. And then Terawell saw a decline in meets at 2.2%. When we look at our special populations, you can see emerging bilingual did increase along with the rest of the population at 3.9%. However, our special education students did decrease at meets by 0.2 percentage points. And looking at how we're going to support our teachers moving into the 2025-2026 school year, our big focus, just as you've heard, across elementary and reading, language arts, and mathematics, is a focus on ARBIs. These are our foundational skills. For secondary, it is really a focus of text complexity, making sure that our teachers are putting texts in front of students that are at or above grade level. And it is year 3 for us in pushing this with teachers. And right now we can see, if you look across the district at the data, teachers who have embraced that text complexity mindset, and teachers who have yet to kind of take the leap and really push those texts with students. So the goal this upcoming year is to make sure that all teachers are teaching throughout the whole year at or above grade level. And we're going to do that through teacher training and calibration. We have some tools for those teachers, and also lesson plan evaluation with administrators and walkthroughs across the district. We do have some district AI tools that we'll be using to support teachers. Basically, we've built bots that the teachers can use that are front-loaded with all of their curriculum documents, all of their planning, all of their TEKS, and all of their STAR data, very specific to Harlandale, and they can interact with it just like a thinking partner in their PLC, where they can build lesson plans, unit guides, tests, all the things they need, which will definitely allow them to spend more time focusing on providing support for students in the classroom and making sure that they are well prepared. We did lose our instructional coach, Kevin Curvin. He went on to be a field placement coordinator and faculty member at Texas A&M Kingsville, and he will be sorely missed. And we are currently looking to fill that position with a skilled individual. And then our last main area of support is through PLC. This past year, both me and the instructional coach were present in all middle school PLCs across the district every Tuesday and Thursday. And that was consistent throughout the year up until testing. And the goal is to continue that, not to lead those PLCs, but to support them in their work, to make sure that they have access to all of the resources that the district is providing, that they have support in their planning, that they stay aligned to the goals of their curriculum, and to help them evaluate those texts to make sure that they are complex enough for their students. As a department, CNI is definitely appreciative of all the support of the Harlandale School Board. And much like we've stated in previous meetings, it is It is a blessing to have a continued monitored support and looking at student data and looking at student progress during these board meetings, and also to recognize the needs and impacts of individual campuses on district data outcomes. As you can see, the variability and success across those campuses shows that there are specific needs for each of those campuses that are unique to their population. And again, to actively recruit fully certified teachers for tested courses from local colleges, universities, and alternative certification programs. And then lastly, to seek additional methods of retaining and leveraging those highly trained and experienced professional staff. If we have those people that are part of our family and they are experienced and knowledgeable, we want to always make sure that we hold on to them. That concludes our portion of sharing the data with you, and we definitely welcome any questions from the board.
Any questions?
Madam Chair?
Yes, Ms. Reese.
Okay, please forgive my ignorance because I'm not in the classroom every day, but I always see that we have a comparison to COVID years. We're in 2025, right, about to start the new 2025-2026 school year. Why are we still comparing to them? And how long do we foresee that we will continue to compare growth to COVID?
The comparison that you see on that particular slide is a TEA slide that we modeled. So they have those bars listed to show the COVID dip and also the STAR redesign. So we just mirrored the state's TEA graphs. And so as long as they maintain them, we'll be consistent in maintaining them as well.
Got it. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Mancha.
Mr. Soto, are we providing any kind of stipends to any of the teachers so we can keep them, not only keep them, but so that we won't lose them? And to be able to maintain, maybe attract more staff members instead of having subs in some of these areas?
Great question, Mr. Mancha. We do have stipends for some of our teachers, but incentive-based, we do not have it here at Harlandale. So if they perform well, besides them doing on the TIA, we do not have, if they score relatively higher than their colleague, we do not have an incentive-based, but we do have stipends for some of these, some of these classes. And to piggyback off Mr. Pozos, with COVID, Ms. Ruiz, basically the state, which TA is doing, is they show how districts were performing before COVID. And then when COVID hit, it hit a slide. And then they're just trying to show that we're trying to rebound. And some of the subjects already have rebounded past COVID. But that's just really what it is. We really don't want to compare ourselves to COVID because that was the biggest dip. We're trying to get past it on how we were trajectory-wise before COVID hit. Hope I answered that question. Dr. Salinas, a couple of stipends that we give.
Sure, math, science get an automatic 4,000, same thing for bilingual. So we do offer stipends depending on what content level you teach.
So it's math, science, and what else?
Math, science is an automatic 4,000.
Which subject are we not providing a stipend for?
Right now, ELAR, social studies,
Social studies?
and ELAR,
Okay.
English,
So
language arts.
maybe that's something that we can think about. My other question was, how are our staff accepting Bluebonnet?
Okay. Over the course of the summer and even in May, it can feel overwhelming, but everyone is excited. They are just, it's a change. And so they're adapting to it, but they're not resistant. So everyone is welcoming it. They're excited. They're ready to tackle it. I know that they just wish it was already an automatic for them of where to find everything, but the energy level has been positive and high, and they're excited to take on the new adventure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Ortiz, you had a question?
Yes, Mr. Soto. So each one of the presenters, they start off their presentation where it says by May 2025, let's just say on this one, reading and language arts will increase by 5%, but each one of them had a different percentage to increase. My question is, who sets that goal to increase? So you have different, like theirs was 1% or 1.2%, your presentation was 5%. And so I'm just wondering, who is the one that sets those goals?
I can share that we are setting that goal specifically to try to meet our 2028 federal accountability meets standard. So each of us is trying to work towards a very specific number. So for example, I'm trying to get to meets 58% at meets for secondary. And so I need to get so many points every year so I can get to that number by 2028.
So my question is, let's just say you go to another school district. Will somebody who replaces you have a different goal?
It is possible, but it would be the most logical that they would still need to close that gap. And as a district and as a department, we're still committed to that goal. And it goes beyond just the individual coordinator. It is something that collectively our campuses and our district have to meet in order to maintain their positive ratings.
Mr. Soto, I want to tell you that it's very encouraging. A couple of them were able to present the masters, the increase in the master's level, which I think is a wonderful goal. I am a little concerned about a couple of presentations that were made that said, we'll continue on this trajectory on providing the support. And if we're failing, I think we need to revisit that strategy, not just to say, oh, we'll continue providing the support. I'm feeling like we need to do something different, not just continue. That's just my opinion. That's my personal opinion. I'm just saying the presentations were getting better and better and better. And it was so wonderful to see how many times y'all could say there was an increase in masters. It just, good things, good thing.
Madam Chair. Ms. Ortiz, in layman's terms, kind of like what Mr. Pozos is saying is, let's just say that the federal mark is 60. We have to be at 60% and we're at 40. So we have till how many years, Mr. Pozos? About 3 more years. Let's say we had 3 more years. So we're getting that number, the difference between 40 and 60, and that's making us every year we need to increase by, and we divide it up to get to, right. That's where they're getting their goal from. So let's just say Mr. Pozos does leave, the next individual is going to want to meet at least that minimum. Now he can raise a bar, but at least we want to get there by 2028, if that kind of helps you understand that. Ms. Casey, you know, as just talking to the trustees before this, and they did have a couple of questions about Terra Wells, right? We know Terra Wells has always been performing very, very well. They took some double-digit hits. You did address it a little bit in the spring on what we need to do better, especially scheduling wise. Can you touch base on that?
Well, we had a couple of concerns. I think the largest tip was in social studies. And one of the pieces was our teachers were often teaching 7th and 8th grade or 6th and 7th. And so what we did is allowed them to have solely teachers making one prep for one course. That was one thing. Another thing with Terra Wells, and it's something that Rubina could probably speak to more, is that when you look at, just like what Mr. Pozos shared, when you look at our overall data, it is a collection of all of our campuses. Within that, we have a wide range. We have some campuses that they did very well, and then we had some campuses that didn't. But you see the average. What happened in social studies at Terra Wells, we had a teacher perform pretty well, and we had another teacher perform pretty average, but we had one teacher that the scores plummeted. And for that campus, it reflected the average of all 3 teachers. And when you're averaging, I think it was a 29%. If you're averaging a 29%, even with 190, your overall data does not look good. And so that's when you look at who's teaching which courses, where they're prepping, how do we support them? And it was something that wasn't a surprise. It's something that we saw in the district benchmark. It's something we saw throughout the year. And it's just a collective effort to hope that that teacher can improve.
Madam Chair. On the flip side, you got to give kudos to Leal, Harlandale Middle, north of Military. You know, as we know, those areas that we service, it's a little tougher. And for their performance to be showing that the effort is there with our staff. And so toughest thing to present, and we always, there's one thing that we're always going to be transparent and good or bad, we're going to show you where we're at. And I want to commend some of those schools that did really well. Schultz, you know, now we're going to move Ms. Trevino into another leadership role. So hopefully she can spread that throughout the district. So there are some things in place that we want to do here in our district.
Yes, Mr. Luna.
Madam Chair, on that note, Mr. Soto, I know, some of y'all know I've been in the district since the 90s, and that is a flip. You know, we talk about running elections. That is something I observed also, that in the 90s, that was the other way around, and we were always trying to catch up Terrell Wells Middle School, McCullum, like the people south of Military. So it's kind of mind-boggling what's going on here. The other thing is that I'm trying to ponder is, we want to increase the meets, but we also want to increase the masters. So I think if you increase the masters more than what you were thinking you could, and get our kids to achieve that high, then the meets is going to go down. But if you can increase the masters, right, it's going to be better points for us, correct?
The way the data is set up, that it's meets plus. So if a kid gets masters, they count towards your meets percentage as well. So pushing the meets and masters is something that we're definitely encouraging. We focus on the meets because that's where the federal accountability sits, but definitely the instruction is to teach those kids at whatever level they are and get growth, just as Ms. Lugo has stated, really trying to identify the students down to the individual kid and seeing where their growth lies to get that growth from them.
Madam Chair. I have a
Yes, Ms.
question.
Salazar.
So kudos to ELAR and math departments. I do have a question for the science and social studies. Were we able to identify which standards were the lowest and which level of cognitive demand were the types of questions that the students didn't perform well on?
I will say that, yes, I mean, I think for us, for social studies specifically, we have over 100 standards, so that becomes very challenging. So we really have to look at down to the actual assessment item to be able to determine kind of, is it that they don't understand Constitution versus, you know, the reasons for the Civil War and Reconstruction. And so those conversations are things that will be had once we come back to the new school year. I would like to point out, however, that the 8th grade team, the entirety of the team met with me in June, and actually they're going to meet with me again in July at the end, actually next week, to really have those conversations, because even though we showed growth specifically at Harlandale Middle and Leal Middle School, these are teachers who want to do better and show even greater growth. And I think that we can do that. You know, as Ms. Casey kind of mentioned about specifically about Tara Wells, and I do want to kind of address Ms. Ortiz's comment about continuing to do the same things. I will say that the strategies and the focus that we have been putting in our classrooms are research-based and will, sorry, I got distracted, will produce results. I think sometimes though, they're, like Ms. Casey mentioned, it's, individual teachers and the capacity. And so how do we build capacity in those specific teachers, I think is going to be critical. And in having conversations with Ms. Nava specifically, we've identified some changes that need to be made. And I think that with some pretty focused support from her and from CNI, that we'll be able to demonstrate some growth. So I don't, I don't want you to be concerned, Ms. Ortiz, in terms of the comment about continuing to do what we're doing. Again, I think these are good strategies. It's getting individuals, specific individuals, to take those practices and implement them effectively and with fidelity in their classrooms.
As for the science results, we need to wait on more specific data as far as the item analyses and the individual test items, as Ms. Pantoja said, in order to make more accurate determinations as to what went wrong.
Mr. Moreno?
Yes, ma'am. So just, I know, Mr. Soto, you kind of have, I'm sure they have an action plan in place for those campuses, and we don't need to rehatch, those that are struggling. I know you're acutely aware of that. What I do, what I do wonder about, I guess, is how, when it comes to the new materials of Bluebonnet. I know with us, we're like having to put out all our textbooks, and we're just solely using, especially in elementaries, and then math in the middle schools. Are we doing that as well, where we're getting rid of all those items and even stuff that we recently purchased, and now we're getting all the new I guess.
Same page, sir.
So there's text rooms and rooms of or books, or there's rooms full of textbooks and supplemental guides and things of that nature. So, okay. Well, I was curious to that too. And then I'm glad to hear that people are invested in utilizing that. I know a lot of it is going to take a shifting. So that may be some of the shifting in terms of mindset. A lot of the exemplars are going to have to be looking at lessons, and they're going to really have to dissect and decipher how truly they're utilizing these lessons. So that might be the component that may be able to move us to meets and masters. So we'll see. Now, again, with the recent, I guess, court appeals, the release of the 2024 ratings, is that going to impact us at all, Mr. Soto, or how is that going to?
2024 ratings will be released. We haven't received a timeline from TEA. I'm assuming they might be released with 25 ratings, but we don't have any updates from TA, but they will be released.
But that won't impact us too much with any particular campus that's in like improvement or IR type of situation, or?
Typically, what they did when 2023 was released, they actually started all of the improvement efforts with that. So then we'll have, what we anticipate is having our 23, 24, and 25 improvements. Any school that qualifies, us doing that at the same time for all of 3 campuses, for all the 3 years.
And it looks like the case, Mr. Soto, that most of them, if they do have issues, it should support that there's improvement. So it should kind of be in a positive if we do have to have those continuous use. But overall, I know these things are tough to digest. But I'm sure that there are some plans in place to support these improvements. But also, the last thing I'll note is in those situations, I guess having our leadership teams, I guess they're going to have those tough conversations if necessary when it comes to staff that may not be fully utilizing this with fidelity. Is that what we're encouraging them, just to document and do what's necessary to make sure we move the needle for our kids, sir? Because that's what seems to be the issue from what I'm hearing from staff without actively saying, hey, it's this teacher didn't want to do this. But I know we encounter that every day.
As noted, Mr. Moreno, just going this morning, right, to our TIA training and conversation to the principals and the administrators, I said they're the biggest impact, even though the teachers have the impact with the child face to face. But if the principal's not holding them accountable and allowing the teacher not to do stuff with fidelity, then that's when we'll run into problems. And that's what ties into the TIA. So that was a conversation this morning with all our administrators about making those walkthroughs. As you heard, our team is making the walkthroughs and helping them grow and continue to help them grow, even with the teachers that are pushing back a bit right? Continue to try to help them grow instead of playing gotcha with them. It's not a gotcha system. It's about holding them accountable for the success of our students.
Appreciate that, sir. I know that's the idea, giving them an opportunity to grow, and if they don't, then we have to move on. Thank you.
Anybody else? I just want to point out that I support every question and comment that my colleagues have mentioned on this particular agenda item. What I hear a lot is we did increase, this amount. In my opinion, any success is a success. I love that you said we grabbed one student, we grabbed 12. That one student that we grab is a success. Do we want to meet our goals and expectations? Certainly. Another thing that I keep hearing from everyone here, our presenters in particular, is, professional development. We're doing walkthroughs. We're not there to, like Mr. Soto said, it's not a got you moment. It's what do you need? Where are you struggling? Not only are we here to educate students, but we're here to educate those that are educating our students. And there is no room for error in that. And by that, I mean, we teach the teachers, we teach administration just as we teach our students, because it's not a successful student. It's a successful district. From the bottom to the top, left to right, we have got to promote education all around our district. We don't succeed if we're not all learning. And I hear that from you all, and I appreciate it. Do I want to see increases all around? Yes, but I'll take that one student we grab. I'll take the 50 we grab. I'll take any percentage of increase that we see in our district. I'll even take the decrease, because it just makes us even more focused on what we need to do to change that. So thank you so much to you all, to the staff, to the teachers that are willing to be students so that they can learn to teach their students. So thank you so much for that. Anybody else? Okay, moving on to agenda item 5B. Mr. Soto?
Yes, Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, been going back and forth with a little bit of this information. We got some more information, right, that I sent out, I believe it was Sunday. And so Mr. Flores is going to just give us a brief general update on how this can impact our funds, our funding.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Mr. Soto, Superintendent of Schools. The reason for the update today is really to reiterate the importance of the federal grants and the funding delays that have been communicated to the school district. The school district received notification on July 3rd, and this is on page 50 of your board book. The school district received notification on July 3rd from the Texas Education Agency that as of June 30th, the U.S. Department of Education had notified the state of Texas of delays in funding to include Title II, 3, and 4, Title I, 2, 3, and 4, different parts of those title funding, to the sum of $1,275,000 to Harlandale ISD. In the statewide, it was over $7 billion. So that notification was sent June 30th to the state of Texas that the upcoming school year, July 1st, following day, the state would not receive the grant award notices or GANs. So that notification came to the school districts that we would not be receiving the notice of grant awards for these grants. Now, these affects our funding on the federal side. We have different programs that are paid through these title funds and staff as well. And we're looking at different avenues of how we're going to navigate through that. The district anticipates or is hoping that the federal government will release the funds to the state and then the state to the school districts. But if it doesn't, the school district would bring additional information to the board and at some point an amendment to discuss how to continue the programs, because that funding impacts directly the presentation that we just saw for curriculum and instruction. It's all about providing that instruction to the students, and it impacts, that funding impacts instruction. So we're hoping that the state's going to release that, or the federal government to the state, and then the state to the school districts. In addition, 21st Century Grant, which is our ACE program, after school program, and has $1,700,000 of funding to the school district, was also delayed. That conversation took place, and we started looking at options of how we could modify the program and try to continue to serve the students as much as possible. However, over the weekend, a couple of communications came out through news media outlets that it looks like the federal government will be releasing those funds on the 21st Century Grant to the state. We were expecting a grant award notice come from the U.S. Department of Education to the state today. Nothing has been released yet. So we will continue to monitor that. But right now we have the ACE program to continue for this final year. This is the final year of the current cycle grant. It's a 5-year grant, and 25-26 was the final year. We expect to submit again the application. Don't know where that will go, but we will continue to provide those services, and hoping that those funds are going to be released.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. I do have a question. They will be releasing, and it's just an open blank as to the date. It could be tomorrow, it could be in 30 days, it could be in 90 days, it could be in 120 days.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. The information that came out over the weekend was that the government was expecting to release them today for the 21st Century Police only, which to the districts is 1.7 million. The other 1.2 million, that is being reviewed, and the district has not received any information from the state that those funds will be released.
Second question, Mr. Flores, if I may. What do we do?
Madam Chair, that's what I was going to add, a little bit of it. Great question. And I think the team of 8 is a big believer that we are not to impact individuals' livelihood for what is happening in the federal levels. So as we know, about 90% of what Mr. Flores is talking about goes to salaries, right? It's somebody's livelihood. And so discussing this with cabinet, I tasked them to see what other school districts do if we didn't get the 21st Century money, which is the after school care. You know, our community relies on picking up their child, waiting till 6 o'clock. They work, and we're going to put them in a bind if we do totally away with after school care. But for us to be able to eat close to $3 million is a lot, considering where we're at with our budget, where we're trying to chip it down, right? And so if the federal government does not fund us next school year, we're looking at being creative and saying, you know what, let's let go of it maybe in the middle school. Let the kid, he's a little bit older, maybe we won't have the ACE programs, the after school cares in the middle schools, and really focus our dollars at the elementary because they're still young. We need them to be taken care of at the elementary level. And I would hate to do it, but last resort would be tie a dollar amount to some of those children, and the parent would have to pay for after school care because we couldn't be able to eat that 1.7 million that we're spending on that program. And it wouldn't be that much because we would just be focusing on the elementary kiddos. But again, trustees, we'd rather have these conversations now, kind of like school closures, is we need to start looking at our overall district finances. You know, we've been brainstorming on how we can cut down overtime, CNI has been attritioning and Mr. Moreno always says, sir, you can't attrition too much because then it's going to start impacting student success, right? We keep cutting positions in CNI, it starts impacting our student success in the classroom, right? But CNI has been taking huge hits with attrition. The other department is our most. When I was at most, we had enough crews to take care of the district within a week, and now it's every other week because it's a shell of itself. But again, we've looking at our finances and saying, you know what, we got to stay afloat. We got to give individuals some positions. So right now, you asked a great question, Ms. Cavazos, is we have some positions available. For example, librarians. We have maybe 2 positions open in librarians. If we weren't going to get funded with the after-school program, and these individuals, they do have their degrees, they just don't have a library, right? They don't have their librarian certification, but would at least be able to offer them a position so they can have a job and get paid the same without impacting their livelihood. Is it ideal? No, but at least we're not letting them go without a job. Mr. Flores just this morning at cabinet notified me that a couple of individuals got out of the ACE program, right? 2 employees kind of saw what's going on with the federal government, and they applied for different positions and got out of the ACE program. As of right now, the ACE program, which is that 21st century, is going to get funded, but we're looking at, you know, that's why Ms. Reyna's here. Ms. Reyna's not here just to come watch me. She's here for a reason, and because it impacts a lot of what services we provide our children. If you can see that one page on that TA letter, you can see where it's gonna impact us with funding. So we got to do our due diligence as a district, Ms. Cavazos, trustees, and seeing how we can keep supporting these programs, because if you see, that's our children. If you see the list, that's us, Title I school district, that it's going to impact. And our district needs these services.
Yes, Ms. Reese.
Madam Chair, Mr. Soto, Mr. Flores, the 1.7 million, just for clarification, covers just 1 year of elementary and middle school after-school care. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Can it only be funded federally? Like federal dollars is the only way it can be funded?
So that's the way.
Like if an anonymous donor comes in and says, here's $1.7 million.
We'll take it.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. Thank you.
We'll take it.
Ms. Ruiz, we had, what was the church, the Methodist, remember they gave us like about 500,000? That helped offset it. Remember that Methodist Ministries, they gave us some funding. Remember, we were about to lose this grant. They stepped in and to help us out. So yes, if we can, you know, get some kind of other funding or grants, depending, to help with after school care.
Okay, so it brings me to my next question. If anybody's out there with $1.7 million, we'll go ahead and take that from you. Thank you.
You know, on a side note, I was one of those parents that relied on those programs. I could not have worked my 40 hours a week if I didn't know that my kids were being taken care of after 3:45 or 2:45 or whatever time they were let out. And those teachers in those programs became an extension of my children's family, because it does take a village. And I pride myself in knowing that this is a district that as of right now, we're not just passing out pink slips. And I hope we can continue to do that. But I understand that our hands are getting tied tighter and tighter and tighter. I don't want to see these programs go. I don't want anybody losing their livelihood. And these programs are instrumental for these kids. They continue to just teach them even when they're not in the classroom. social skills and with their homework and just they have somebody who's watching and caring for them until mom and dad can come and pick them up. And so we do have to have these hard conversations, preferably early, so that we can prepare as best as we can and do as much as we can to not only save somebody's livelihood, but to save the institution that we are giving these kids. And by that is that comfort of knowing they are safe, they're with someone who cares, and they're continuing to learn even when they're not in a classroom. These programs are extremely valuable for them to be wholehearted individuals. So thank you for that. Anybody else, Mr. Moreno? Yes, sir.
Madam Chair, so just to be clear, I mean, obviously, I think the whole team here echoes those sentiments and that it's extremely vital, these wraparound services that we pride ourselves in being able to provide to our students at the care center. I mean, these are things that are going to be diminished tremendously. And that's the tough thing is that we're not just competing with neighboring districts, we're looking at a federal issue. And so these grants and these folks that, because a lot of times people are already locked in, like, why always just donate to this particular group? And so that's what makes it a little bit cumbersome to navigate those waters. But at the same time, this is a federal issue that typically we don't get too impacted, but with the route that our federal government is going, it has become a very weaponized and politicized situation. So I think we would implore all those that can vote, like use your ability to hold these individuals accountable, whether it's in Austin or DC, because they're doing a great disservice to our kids. And these are the opportunities that transfer, whether it's like the Ed Partnership of San Antonio, these are the partnerships, the Pell Grant, things like that, that if we don't have those opportunities, we don't get to sit in these seats to help our kids come back and be successful. So, I mean, I hope we can find ways to support that. I know you guys will lean on the expertise that you guys have and tighten as much as we can. And hopefully, I know you mentioned Ms. Gallegos' team. I hope that doesn't mean that we lost two vital components of her team today. Is that what we're?
So no, so we had some positions as we were looking. Some of them did leave, but we're opening those up again.
Okay.
But-
Well, I guess Dr. Salinas will give us an update on that. But yeah, we know that team works hard and we can't have those community fairs. We can't have those outreach programs. We can't have those backpack giveaways without this department. So, it's hard to digest. So that's what I hope we can improve on and hold those elected officials accountable. Thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you, Mr. Flores.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item 6, consent items. Is there a motion for consent items
Madam Chair.
6A through 6O? Yes, Mr. Moreno.
Yes, I move to approve consent item 6A through 6O.
Thank you, Mr. Moreno. Is there a second?
Madam Chair, I second.
I'll give it to Ms. Salazar. Thank you, Ms. Salazar. We are ready to vote on agenda item 6A through 6O. Can we open up the voting, please? Voting is closed. Motion carries. Okay, moving on to agenda item 7, individual items, 7A. Who's going to move forward with this? This is consider and take appropriate action to appoint a delegate and alternate delegate to the TASB Delegate Assembly on September 13th, 2025 during the Tex EdCon 2025 convention in Houston, Texas. Is there a motion? But before there's a motion, I want to make a comment. I will not be going to the conference. So don't appoint me or nominate me because I will not be attending. I have plenty of hours I don't need anything except for the legislative, and I'm taking that at Region 20 to not incur expenses to the district that are unnecessary. So I'm caught up with my hours. So if you were going to nominate me or appoint me, yeah, go ahead and pick somebody else, please.
I do have a question, Madam Chair. Can we nominate Lee because it's like a rite of passage? Since he's not on the board yet, because I was the
Well,
delegate
can-
my first year,
because he's
and then
He's
and then
officially
Salazar.
not sworn in as a trustee. No, so.
Oh, he got off.
Yes.
Lee, you got lucky
We'll
this
get
time.
him
We'll get you next
We'll
time.
get him next time.
Do we have to get that in, Ms. Patty?
Madam Chair, I move that we table.
Okay, so can we table that and then bring it back at the regular board meeting in August?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Mancha.
I motion that we table this item to the next regular scheduled or special called meeting.
Ms. Reese, you want to second that?
I second that motion.
Okay. Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Luna.
I just want to interject also that I'm not for sure who has, with Patty Kuminalchuk, who's registered so far, but I haven't registered for this event either. Soon, right? But on a side note, I am going to be interviewed for that directorship position, so I don't know if that entails that they would pay for my way to go as well, or because I automatically would go as a director, so that's still up in the air too, so.
So what, is everybody okay with voting on Mr. Mancha's motion? Ms. Reese seconds it. So that by the time this is back on the agenda, either special call or regular board meeting, then Ms. Patty already has a better idea of who's going to attend that conference in Houston. Can we move forward with the vote, or is there anybody else that needs to make a comment?
We can move forward, Madam Chair.
Okay, can we open up the voting, please? Yes, but it'll be in our meeting minutes. Yes. Mhm, mhm. Okay, voting closes, motion carries, and the motion is to table agenda item 7A to a special call meeting or regular board meeting.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Moreno.
I move to convene in closed session, as authorized by Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, Sections 551.071 through 551.084.
Thank you, Mr. Moreno. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Ms. Ortiz. We will vote on convening in closed session. Okay, voting is closed. Motion does carry. It is 8:24. We're going to convene in closed session. Hello, everybody. We are back in open session. It is 8:50. Agenda item 8A, no action taken at this time. Before we move on to agenda item 10, if Mr. Luna and my colleagues allow me to, I'd like to take a moment of silence in memory of Mr. Luna's mom. Beloved mom, friend, neighbor, sister, spouse. She only transitions, does not leave us far behind, and is constantly looking over not just Mr. Luna and his family, but all of us that share his vision and mission. For all those in our Harlandale ISD family that have lost loved ones recently, this moment of silence is also for them. We can please bow our heads. Thank you, everybody. Agenda item 10.
Thank you, Madam
Oh,
Chair.
I'm sorry. Yes, Ms.
No,
Ortiz, I
just-
apologize.
I was gonna say thank you so much for including our community. I lost a very dear friend. He graduated from McCollum High School in 1982 with me. And then we lost another dear friend, her mother, Louise Wing, raised 5 kids that all graduated from McCollum High School. And we had a celebration of life for her on Sunday and for Hector Gomez, class of 82, on Saturday. And so thank you for including them in your moment of silence.
Of course, Ms. Ortiz. Thank you for mentioning them. Is there a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Ms. Reese.
I move to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second? Ms. Salazar?
Madam Chair, I second.
Thank you, Ms. Salazar. We're going to vote on adjourning tonight's meeting. Voting is open. Voting has closed. Motion carries. It is 8:53. Tonight's meeting is adjourned. Everybody be safe.